just want to talk.
Welcome to the second season of We Just Want to Talk. I'm Debbie,
I'm Miriam, and this is everything we want to talk about.
including Tegan and Sara.
We can begin.
Your essay doesn't even have a title. You should put a title on your essay.
It's not an essay, it's just an introduction to the topic.
All right.
It's just reflection. It's just reflection.
Okay, so you're gonna do a reflection before we start the podcast. Go ahead.
Basically, yeah. Oh, we can say hi everyone. We can say that.
We have guests today. We have Jess and Rosie, and we're gonna do our book club, Crush by Tegan and Sara and Tillie Walden. Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Of course, we love having you guys.
Yeah, but is it okay if I say something before that?
Yes, go ahead.
After reading Crush, I wrote this earlier because I don't know, I think the book got me into this creative mindset, and I wanted to we have a different topic for today. I want to get to the topic through reading what I've written. So basically, it starts like this. Sometimes while sitting alone thinking about the present situations I am in, and my existential thoughts become a little too apparent, I wonder whether this reality I am in is nothing but a dream, or possibly a nightmare. What if I am dreaming all of this? What if I'm still standing in my grandparents' garage as a 7-year-old watching my cousins play without me, feeling rejected, not included, and sad? What if that little girl had made up all of this life in which she becomes her own hero inside a little daydream or a fantasy? What if reality is merely a dream we might wake up from? Aren't some dreams, don't some dreams seem too real? You feel stuck, trying to leave, jump out, perhaps. Well, these questions always cross my mind. When Debbie told me she wanted to navigate the topic of dreams or possibly nightmares when we're reviewing Tegan and Sara's latest graphic novel titled Crush, I couldn't understand it at first. I admit it took me too long to read the novel. It took me longer than it should as a fan. But the past few months have felt something like a jumbled dream that I still can't wake up from. Problem is, I think reading it this morning has woken me up because I'm suddenly fired up with a sense of agonizing nostalgia to those twins I have grown to love so much and idealize for years. And somehow, starting June this year, something shifted, and I have stopped even trying to keep up with them. I wasn't able to tell if my frontal lobe has developed, or it's a factor of being 30, or my mental illness is leaving my body, or maybe depression is getting worse, or maybe I have lost interest due to the political situations we are living in. But this morning, I missed that little girl who discovered people who made her feel safe and comforted for the first time ever when she was going through the roughest patch of her life. And I was basically 18, 19, something like that. It's how you treat your younger self that matters, I thought to myself. Tegan and Sara were kind and generous and lovely towards these teenagers they have written about themselves. Though the writing was fictional, I couldn't help but see their own voices of struggle they have talked about in there. The craze of social media, for example, managers who make your life miserable, not able to love what you do because it feels like a job and you feel like an object being sold, fighting with people twice your age to prove your own existence and points, having crushes on people and not being able to navigate them well, fighting with friends, siblings, parents. My God, all those moments of when I was a teenager, I have wished to erase from my memory because they honestly felt nothing but a huge nightmare that I was carrying the weight of for years. Tegan and Sarah reconciled with their own nightmarish years in this book. Yes, it opens with a nightmare, with everything going wrong, with them feeling exposed and overwhelmed, but it ends with reconciliation, love, forgiveness. The book, if you know Tegan and Sarah, felt like a therapy session they were sharing with their fans. It's a total reflection on what they love and hate about this career they have chosen when they were little kids. It's also the immense they make with themselves and the relationship they fix with each other and their mother, choosing her to take the lead and be their momager at the end. How sweet was the book and how relaxing was it to read? it was to read, not once, but twice within the same day, only because nothing had made me feel better for a while. So, why dreams? How does all of this relate to dreams? The answer is simple. Our fears, our feelings, our fantasies are always projected in our dreams, in our nightmares. When we dream, we let go. We express, we desire, we want, we try to speak, we try to get rid of, we try to obtain, and we try to figure things out. Like I said, the novel starts with a nightmare. And while we're reading it, we and the characters almost wonder whether this nightmare is real the way we wonder about our lives. Life sometimes is nightmarish and hellish. However, it's not always like this if you reconcile with yourself. So we decided to talk about all sorts of dreams in this episode. Our own dreams, daydreams, nightmares, literal and figurative. You can start, Debbie.
How many times did you guys read the book? I read it 3 times.
Twice today. Only today. I only started reading it today and I read it twice.
Oh,
I
cool.
was
read it,
obsessed.
like, 2.5 times, I think.
I
How
read
many?
it 10 times. Probably.
10?
More than 10. Almost,
Honestly,
probably-
Rosie, I would understand. I would understand this.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
my
I
yeah.
have
favorite
been
so far.
reading it recently because I've been very into Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, she's been reading a
Cool.
Winnie the Pooh graphic novel
Oh,
over and
I
over.
love this.
Cool.
I
do
think
love
this
Winnie
book got me into graphic novels, to be honest. I'm
Right.
not even junior high. Like this one, it spoke to me. I don't know why. I guess it's all in the intro. It touched a part of something in me. I'm not gonna blabber about it because it's all in the intro that I wrote. I felt very creative that I wanted to write.
I do want to say that you told me that the other day you messaged me like early in the morning and it was like middle of the night for you or something. And then I asked you, why were you texting me? And then you said you were having anxiety. And then
Yeah.
I told you that the day before I also had like anxiety.
And you read.
And then I read Junior High and it
Yeah.
helped me. I read Junior High and Crush in preparation for today's episode.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, maybe if I'm just gonna finish Junior High since I can't sleep, right? And then like it helped me because it's very, like you said, it's like comforting
It's very
and
comforting. Yeah.
relaxing and just like, an easy read and just funny, like
Not only that, I feel
it's
like
so
I
funny.
think Crush touched me more than Junior High. I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe because I'm like, especially the idea, like it's what they've always said about how they don't want to be sold, how they didn't do it for the money. How it's like it's very like reflected in there.
It felt less fictional, even though it was more fictional,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And honestly, I haven't seen any of them. I'm gonna be honest, any of the
The
book tour
interviews.
videos,
That's
but I
okay.
did watch the Substack video with Tillie Walden today.
Okay, cool.
And they literally said that. Everything, I was thinking
They
they
said
said it.
they said it felt like therapy for them writing Crush specifically.
And it's funny because I wrote this way before I saw the Substack.
Okay. So I guess I don't really need to give an intro because we already know we're gonna talk about Crush, the graphic novel, and the topic of dreams, which entails dreams, like when we fell asleep and then we dream, our dreams in life, and also like nightmares and daydreams. And I was gonna say, Miriam, that you liked Crush more than Junior High, correct?
Yeah.
I asked on Instagram if the listeners liked Crush or Junior High better.
And I picked Junior High before reading Crush.
Because you didn't.
You haven't
saw
read
it.
Crush yet?
Yeah.
I read it today only.
Yeah.
So
I voted Crush.
I voted Crush. Let me
I mean,
just
it
find
makes
it.
sense. It makes a lot of sense why it's
Rosie
Crush.
can't decide. She loves them both.
Oh, really? Didn't you read Crush more than Junior High?
Because Crush is a little bit shorter.
Is it?
No, it's the same, I felt.
I think she read through Crush faster because she's a faster reader now. So now
True.
she's like
Mm.
reread it more times more quickly. But overall, I think she's read Junior High like 20 times or something. I don't know.
So maybe Junior High more than Crush just because she has had it for longer.
Yes.
Are you checking
Yeah,
the
we're checking
pages?
page number.
And
Page
then
count. Junior high has about 70 more pages than
Oh,
Crush.
It's thicker. Look at
Did you guys
Yes,
play this quiz towards the end?
a
I
little thicker.
did.
I did.
I
I got all A's, almost all A's.
Really?
One B and two C's. Yeah, that was weird.
I
I
got
think I
mostly
got,
C's, but it was pretty even
yeah, mine was
for me.
pretty even. I think I
I
got
didn't.
5
Yeah.
B's,
I can't
4 A's, and 1 C.
I can't do it because I'm only 9. I don't
That's
have
true.
That's true. Yeah.
Rosie's like, half these questions don't apply to me. I can't
Yeah,
complete the
same.
I'm like,
I
that's
just
fine.
pretended that
Some
they
of them I
applied to
could
me.
answer, and I was mostly like night fever.
The ones that you could answer were like night fever. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a quiz at the end of Crush.
I thought that was so fun because I used
Yeah.
to love taking the quizzes and backs of
Yeah,
magazines.
magazines. Yeah.
I like doing fun stuff like that. That's one of the things that, like, this is geared toward middle grade, obviously, age of kids, but like the nostalgia, again, this is like,
Nostalgia.
I feel
It's
like we
killing
talk
me.
about this all the time.
Mm.
The nostalgia runs deep, and it's so fun to see that even an adult can enjoy it. And it's fun. Sometimes there's not a lot of fun things to do when you're an adult.
I think what caught my attention the most about myself reading this is that my reaction, like Fanatical and Crush came out about the same time, kind of. But I was so uncomfortable with Fanatical because of
hmm
the whole situation.
hmm
And I was so comforted with reading
Mhm.
Crush.
Yeah, it was the great balance.
Yeah, it was like
It's
the two
honestly
ends of the
extremes.
spectrum.
And now I'm like,
Two
these are the
extremes,
Tegan
yeah.
and Sara that I loved. And like, it took me back in time. And with Fanatical, it also took me back in time to really bad like situations
Yeah.
on the internet where, oh, that's what happened. I remember when these pictures, like, it was just like, oh, there are two sides to fandom, really.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because like, oh, you see both sides. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. So, we're supposed to understand Crush and its themes. We have an overview of the graphic novel, plot, characters, and themes. Okay, so here's the thing. What I love the most about when I opened the book, I saw this page.
Wait.
It introduces all the characters. Grade
I
8
wrote
friends and
some
enemies.
notes that I wanted to go over. Oh yeah, I
I
thought
love that.
because this was the
The recap.
how yeah, the recap. How do you call it
Yeah.
for shows? It's
Recap, yeah.
Yeah, the recap.
the preview previous
Yeah,
I
previous
loved it. It's just so
in the
good.
previous episode.
And I don't know why it felt like reading like did Tegan and Sara come up with these like
Yes,
funny scenarios? Like did they write these? Because it's just like, oh, I
like
love
for
their
sure.
childish sides.
I can totally see them writing down like
Yeah.
pieces of paper with each character in a piece of paper, and
And
then like,
their voices are so like obvious and apparent in that like even their characteristics and their personalities
Yeah.
are
This
so
page is
clear.
perfect.
Yeah. I took a picture
No
of it.
notes.
That's how much I loved
no
it.
notes. But my notes are not about Crush. They're about the podcast in general. I have a question for the listeners. You can message us, or I think I'm gonna put a question in the Instagram. If you listen to our last episode, you know there's gonna be a surprise episode.
Mhm.
So I wonder
I
if
was so intrigued.
I wonder
Like,
if what
what is
people
this?
think it is. Send us your guesses, and we'll see if someone's gonna find out. I don't think anyone's gonna find out because it's like, do you have a guess, Jess?
I was guessing that you guys are gonna meet in person. I was guessing you were gonna do a live episode.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't have any guesses.
Rosie doesn't have a guess.
We're not gonna give it away until it happens.
For the book club, for the next book club, the book is The Book Thief, and I just wanted to say trigger warning that the book talks about death. So if people are triggered by the topic,
Yeah, we both
Yeah,
got the
that's not
book.
a topic
We're
you
gonna
want
start reading the
to-
books next week, I suppose. Do we start
Yeah,
next week reading
January.
them? Or in January?
Sometime
Yeah,
in
yeah.
January.
Yeah, it's not
All
a
right.
kid book. It's not a children's book.
It's actually okay for kids, I think.
maybe it's like a young adult.
Yeah.
It's young adult actually. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
it's
is
not super. I know. Yeah, not everybody likes to read about that, but it's not that bad. It's
Mm.
just like they bring up the topic a lot, but it's not in a bad way. It's like a very
I was told to
interesting.
read it by my students actually, like a couple of
Mhm.
months ago. That's why, like, when you suggested it, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I really want to read that because they told me I would
Um,
love it.
I have a list of things I want to talk about that I forgot last episode about Tegan and Sara that I wanted to talk about, but maybe it doesn't have to be today.
Rosie says later.
Later, okay, let's talk. If
Later.
Rosie wants to talk about Crush. Let's
Let's
talk
get
about
into
Basically,
Crush.
Crush, please.
basically
And
what's
I have to
happening
sleep and wake
is
up
she wants
tomorrow.
to get into Crush because she's gonna run an errand to Target at some point.
okay, let's go.
So the topic is dreams, but let's just have an overview of Crush, basically. Would you like to like give a plot synopsis, or do you want me to go through that?
No, you do it.
Um, well, Crush opens up with summer break, right? Going from 7th to 8th grade, where basically Sarah thinks it's a sucky summer, Tegan thinks it's, she's her bubbly high, you know,
Yeah,
uh,
she finds good in everything. So her character in the book
basically.
is also like doing that.
Her character is a lot like her actual character in real lives. There are a lot of themes that are very relatable, I feel like whether you're an adult or a teenager or a kid, I don't know, like being managed by someone, being uncomfortable in your job, hating what you do because of how it makes you feel, being forced to do what you don't like, at the same time having crushes on people you're not able to tell them, um, being comfortable with your body, self-expression, all of these themes that we saw in junior high are still there. The characters as well. So most of the characters are there except for, thankfully, what's her name?
Noah
Avery.
Ramona.
or
Oh,
No,
Avery.
Avery.
Avery, the
Avery,
monster
but
is gone, but she's anxiety.
but
She's Simba's anxiety. She just comes in I don't know, in their thoughts or nightmares, whatever that is.
She
yeah,
There
shows up.
is,
She
that one part where she shows up is one of
yeah,
my favorite parts in the whole
yeah,
book.
same. I wrote that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like their evil conscience,
Yeah,
and
Like a genie or something. She has like no legs.
oh yeah, she looks like
exactly,
an
yeah.
yeah, she's a
evil
monster.
genie.
She's like a monster. Even her green, by the way, the part she appears as green, and green usually is like represents monsters. So I
Yeah,
like that
she's
detail.
toxic.
That's so true. Like it's a different color.
Yep.
Yeah. What else? We have Ramona, a new character, and it's such an annoying character, but at the same time, we have a Ramona in our lives. Everyone has a Ramona in their lives. And I
Yeah.
feel like Tegan and Sarah know what they're talking about. This person is there or was there in their lives because the description was amazing. Um, we have kind of pessimistic Sarah. We have positive Tegan. We have all of those. We have new songs that Tegan and Sarah have never sung. We have a song called Crush. And well, we don't listen to these songs, but we have some lyrics for them. It's overall, I love this book. I'm not going to spoil it, but this is my favorite part. It's I like it more than junior high. I mean, I love them both, but this one really won me over, as I've said. All right. Why do you think that Crush opens up with a nightmare? The
Well,
nightmare that they're on stage,
they've
yeah.
mentioned before that they both had nightmares like this when they are in front of an audience and they can't sing. It's like a recurrent
Yeah.
nightmare that they have sometimes. I guess it's like a anxiety nightmare, anxiety dream that
Mm-hmm.
they have sometimes. So it was
Which is
interesting
very
that
normal. Yeah.
it's something that happens in their real life that they incorporated in the book. I don't know if there's a reason for that. I think it's just like in this book they navigate starting a music career, quote unquote,
Mm-hmm.
and the nightmare is like a jump start to that.
Yeah.
At one point in the novel, Sarah mentions, or Tegan, I forgot, she says this is exactly like the nightmare. So you remember, the nightmare that you had, like the dream that she had at the beginning.
Oh yeah, she said it's exactly the same nightmare, but now it's not an audience, it's just Ramona that they
It's just
want to
exactly.
impress.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
Um,
love that. I love the whole idea is that our nightmares really just reflect our fears and
yeah, I was gonna say that I chose the topic of dreams because I feel like this book, it's like, it's their dream to have a band and to have a career
yeah.
and to be musicians and stuff. Um, and it also shows dreams when you fall asleep, like the
Mhm.
interstitious, how
Interstitials?
intersti
Oh,
interstitials. It's
what
that
does that
when
mean?
these pages, when they're talking to each other, they're
Mm,
red and blue.
Like their inner
hmm.
world.
Yeah,
They're,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
in their inner world. That feels like dreamlike every time. Every time I
It
see those
is.
pages.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
true.
I thought that was interesting as well. So I wanted to talk about those kind of topics because of that. And because it talks about their career, like you didn't see any of the interviews, but they said that a lot, that the this book kind of reflects the first 2 years of their career
Yeah.
Mhm.
when
I
they
noticed this, but without seeing the
yeah,
interviews, it
yeah, when
feels
they
very
it,
real.
it's funny too because when I first read it, I didn't like as much because they were I felt like they were fighting more in this book than the other book. And I don't like when they fight. I like
But
when they get
but
along.
there is a lot of reconciliation.
Oh,
It's
for
like really
sure.
a
For
therapy
sure.
session.
Exactly. But after I listened to their interviews and watched their interviews, I was like, no, this book is actually like it's very nice to show,
Mhm.
how they
Sister
feel about
relation.
yeah, how they feel about all of like this part of their career and sisterhood and all of that. Because
Mhm.
during the interviews, they also said that, the BTS part when Ramona wants them to do BTS stuff and Sarah's like, I don't want to do
Which
BTS
is
stuff. This
exactly what they
happens
keep
now.
saying.
This
Exactly.
happens today,
Like
like
having
right
to
now.
go live on Instagram or TikTok and
Yeah,
having to do, and their managers just forcing them to do social media and they're making fun of that.
exactly.
It's very real. And
Yeah,
I understand this.
other parallels to their career was that they also had a manager at the beginning that they ditched. The manager
Hmm.
changed the band's name, just like in the book,
Yeah.
but they didn't keep the manager. They ditched the manager at the time. Um, what else? I loved. I just want to mention that their dad, whenever he says the DJ's name wrong, because there's DJ Cucumber is Tegan's
DJ
crush.
Avocado, DJ Lettuce,
Lettuce,
whatever it is.
so funny
Cabbage.
every time.
DJ
Such a
Cabbage.
dad
DJ
thing. Yeah.
Cabbage, that was really funny to me.
That was
Um,
hilarious.
I have a lot of notes. Oh my God. Can I go through the notes?
sure.
Okay,
Did
so yeah, each chapter I'm gonna go with like in chapter one, Saki Summer, called Saki Summer. It made me smile so much. Like that's when I knew like, oh, this is a good book. I like the idea that Sarah just like, hated something she wrote, even though it's really good because it's such a Sarah thing, but at the same time, sometimes you just feel awkward about things you share with people because it gives who you are.
But you know what? It has to do also, it's not like they don't think that the song is bad or good. It has to do with their emotions.
With their
Because Tegan,
emotions, exactly.
yeah, because Tegan at the end also, right
Hated
after
the
they
song,
recorded it, she
Crush.
was like, yeah, she hated the song because of her emotions towards the
Because
song.
exactly, so you connect real situations because she saw Kat and what's her name? Forgot her name.
Tasha,
Tasha, yes, kiss, and she was just jealous. Um,
she was crushed. She was
She
heartbroken.
was, she was
which is a
crushed.
play on words when it comes to crush because they use it in
Totally.
as yeah, I love that play on words. Love the details about the clothes because this is something they suffer with in photo shoots. That's in chapter 5 in
Yes.
Bandwidth, called
Yes.
Bandwidth, the photo shoot, how, it's like, Sarah likes to basically kind of cover up. Tegan at the beginning of the career, just like didn't care. Um,
Something interesting in the interviews that they said that stood out to me was they were talking about at the beginning, people were trying to tell them what to do and what to say and how to dress, how to look, etc. And it was so, I think, for them, uncomfortable that they shaved their heads. They were like, "Do you want me to look this way? I'm gonna shave my
Mhm.
head. There's nothing you can do now. You
Exactly.
can do
Yeah.
anything now that I don't have hair." You know, I feel like
Yeah.
I thought that was like impactful. That like
It
they
isn't. And
they
when
had
we're
to
at
do
this age,
they didn't know how to express
express
themselves
themselves. Yeah.
with words yet, so they shaved their heads because this is like a way to say that like I don't like that you're telling me.
How to wear, how to
Yeah,
dress, or
yeah.
I understand these extremes because I did go through that when my mom used to force me when I was like 18, 19, wear makeup or look girly, and I was just like, and even though like I don't agree with that right now or I don't like that, but it was just a way to figure myself out. Like, you want me to look a certain way, I'm going to do the exact opposite and make you feel embarrassed.
Yeah, and
And
it's like you can control
you who you
your
are.
own
Mm-hmm.
hair. Like
Exactly.
nobody should be deciding that except
That's why I used to like, I covered it. That this is what I
yeah.
did. It's like, oh my, I'm gonna do the opposite of what you want, and I'm gonna embarrass you in front of the whole family. I did that to
Whoa.
my grandma and my mom. Yeah. And
This is like your therapy session.
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. But I understand this because at that age, it's just like
Yeah.
you're a new adult and you're just like, you don't want
Yeah.
to like do what your mom says anymore, and you're figuring yourself out.
Right.
So yeah. I love this quote in chapter 7 called The Contract. It says, being excited sometimes feels a little like being afraid, which is so true. It's on page 88.
Yeah.
And I wrote this note. The whole conversation on that page reminded me of Debbie and I. Okay, in that chapter, I mean, Debbie and I, while I'm falling asleep and she's planning with excitement, like usually sometimes we're planning something,
Oh,
and
and she's like, mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah,
like, yeah,
same.
yeah, sure, of course. I'm like, okay, Debbie, I'm
See,
just
and
trying to fall asleep.
it leads to a dream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, not dream, but like dream like sequence.
Yeah.
yeah. So, I don't know. I love this chapter.
You know, I thought that Tegan forgave Noah too quickly. I thought.
Yeah, same.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
But they're young. They're 13.
No, I know. I feel like maybe like after this scene they should have another, like she shouldn't trust her right away after
Yeah, that's
the
true.
Really?
I always forget that Noah is a girl. I always forget, and Vince is a guy in the story until
oh,
like,
it's well the pronouns are she her.
Girl, but
yeah.
sometimes I know she has short hair.
Yeah, well, she's
Yeah.
not
No,
really like
because of the name, I always forget. It's
That's
not about the
true.
oh.
hair.
My
Yeah.
mom thought it was
Well,
a guy
no,
too
yeah,
because of the
Noah
name.
could be, I mean, I've known of people of different genders with the name
Yeah,
Noah. So
called
maybe I
Noah.
just
But I
don't have
guess
it as attached
in
to it.
Arabic we call Noah is a very, very guy, like it's like Adam. A lot of people call their kids Noah or Adam, and it's just
Yeah,
like it's a guy's name, like their children. So it's just my brain is just fixed like it's a boy's
yeah.
name.
I don't think that they like got, I don't think that Tegan forgave Noah too quickly, actually.
I
Like
think I was still hurt. Like I was more
I
hurt than Tegan.
I felt like that was so more at like it was aspirational to me thinking about similar dynamics that happened to me in middle school with my friend
Mm-hmm.
group.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish that there would have even been that much of a conversation because what it would really happen is like one day you'd show up and like everybody would be like mad at you for some reason or not talking to you and you'd be like the odd one out that week. And then the next week it'd be like, oh, you're back
Someone
in and
else.
there's no talk. And then you're just like, oh, okay, I guess we're all still friends. And then a little while later, you are also involved in excluding another friend
Yeah, makes
some
sense.
way, or it's perceived like, oh, they chose this friend over me. That happens so often. And
That's
I
true.
and like in my experience when I was in middle school, we didn't have language to do that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's nice in the book because I feel like that it
It's
is
realistic.
yeah, I no, well, it's not, it's better than realistic to
Right.
me.
Oh, I
Yeah.
Like
see.
it is aspirational. Like I wish that would have been like I would have been able to say to a friend of mine, like, well, it really hurt me when it felt like you chose that other friend over me, or it felt like you ditched me. Like we just never really could say those things.
That's true.
But
I guess
times
I
are
was,
And
different
yeah, I was
yeah,
looking,
because
I was,
people right now, like the kids right now that I teach they speak exactly the same way. That's why I felt
mhm,
so close to this book more than
yeah,
junior high.
yeah,
yeah,
I looked at it, I guess, through adult eyes. So that's why I
Hmm.
right,
thought it was too quickly. But I guess as like a middle schooler, this dialogue wouldn't even happen. Like
Even
they would
high
just
schoolers, they fight and make
hang
up
out
within the
again.
same day, and it would be over like
Yeah,
things that are more serious because I see it. I teach high
right.
schoolers and I see it. So, yeah, I guess it was realistic actually.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's true.
I liked it because it helped me reprocess something.
Same.
That's good for you. I feel like I don't even remember middle school to me, it's like very I can't discern between the years. They're all one thing in my head.
Hmm.
Like I can't remember if it was
That's high school for
sixth,
me.
seven, or eighth. I can't remember which year
No,
that
I
like it's
remember
all
those.
one thing
High
for
school
me.
was the worst for me. High school, I don't know in grade 9 from grade 10 from grade 11, 12. Like it's just, I don't remember anything. And I
It's like a
try not to
blur.
Hmm.
remember. It's so bad.
One of my good friends from middle school, and I'm still good friends with, I gave her copies of Junior High and Crush. And as she read them, she was like sending me commentary, and she was like, "Oh, the Noah character reminds me of so and so, like somebody from our real
Mhm.
life middle school
That's
experience."
cool.
And I'm like, "Oh, me too." And it felt like so validating.
Yeah.
And then we were like picking apart other scenes a little bit, and like, oh, that kind of reminds us of this instance that happened in high school or middle school. And so it was actually like really um,
Validating.
Healing.
validating, exactly, and healing. And then it gave us a chance
Exactly.
to kind of talk about some things that happened. And she was like, "Remember this? Can we like talk about that now?" And we're like,
Hmm.
you know, she's 40, I'm 41, and we're like processing these things from like
Yeah.
nearly 30 years ago or 27, 28 years ago
Yeah.
because of this book.
I wish I
That's
had
the
someone
beauty
to,
of it.
I
I
wish I was still
know.
in touch with people who were my friends in middle school. I don't have anybody, I haven't kept in touch with anybody that I was friends with
Same.
at the time. So that's really cool. Does Rosie want to say anything, mention anything? She was so excited to talk about
I
Crush.
know. And then she left. Where'd you go? Roro, did you have anything you wanted to say about Crush?
Well, I just really loved it.
What
No,
did you
Do
love
we,
the most?
you have
What
a
did you
favorite
love the
part?
most about it? What's your
Yeah,
favorite part?
No, I don't have a favorite part. I liked it all.
you liked it all.
Oh.
There were some really funny parts. She
this
loves
part,
to
this part is
read
so
it
funny to
aloud.
me.
Oh
I
yeah,
love the slurp part
let's
when
slur.
they drink the soda and their faces like it's so
I
funny.
know.
Slurp, slurp, slurp. So I wrote that.
Those little details with their faces and their eyes
Yeah.
and things. I
Yeah.
love those too.
It's
When
such a yeah.
the part that I show that listeners
Like
can't
the
see is,
music video.
oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I love those.
I like the quotations when Tegan says it's our job, and then Sarah's like in quotes job, and then
Yeah,
Tegan's like, okay, Sarah. She quotes Sarah.
I love that.
It's funny.
The air quotes.
Fine, sure.
Do
So
you guys
cool.
think, I have a question. Do you guys think, because in chapter 12, Sarah thinks that Ramona is dividing them. Was she doing that on purpose, or is that just her hungry
No,
for
I
money
think I think
personality?
no, I think Ramona is she's a manager, so she's like
She's a
their kids, so
manager.
she doesn't really. I don't think she was separating the artists being kids. She was just like you're
Yeah,
artists,
Hmm.
and you have to demand. Like I have demands, and you have to
yeah,
just do them.
she was just
Yeah.
doing her job and she was
Yeah,
not tuned into them.
yeah,
They're
that's what
Very
I
like
think.
different. It's
young
them
people.
dealing with adults, how adults sometimes don't
Exactly,
understand this age. And I like that
exactly.
they mentioned that in the Substack because I guess I like this book because it shows the dynamic of teenagers interacting with adults since I interact with teenagers a lot. And there's this part, it took me years to understand how they think and how they process situations and how they view things. And I still sometimes make mistakes as an adult and hurt them without intending to. So that's
Yeah,
why I don't completely think Carmona is as an evil character. She's just
yeah,
like she's thinking of her own career and they're
Yeah.
thinking of their own
yeah,
relationships and their childhood.
yeah. I think she's kind of narrow, like her perspective's narrow.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
not intentional. It's not like she's trying to divide them.
and I think it's
Like
different.
her
Like
mom.
I'm not going to assume anything, but like I don't want to assume, but Ramona seemed like a person without kids. I think if when you don't have kids, you're not able to like see what kids can think of, maybe.
Sometimes you're
Like
not as like you don't have you're not as perceptive,
exactly. Especially
maybe.
when you don't have them around you. It's very hard to,
In general.
yeah. Not only like kids, like you having your own children, but kids around you in your life.
Mhm.
It's very
Yeah.
hard. Even though she manages like Cat and Knight and all of that, but these are still older people. Like,
Yes.
and at one point, Knight is like, or was it Cat says, "Oh, here we go. I remember these days."
I think it was
So
Knight.
Knight, it was Knight, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Is
Knight,
Knight a real person?
what do you mean?
Is
In their
the
career?
yeah?
No. So that's the thing. Night Fever is someone that they put in the book, someone that they wanted to have at the time
Yeah.
that they
Oh,
didn't
Something
have.
that was kind of it was
exactly.
kind of
So
missing for them.
yeah, so I think Night Fever is Tegan and Sara
Comfort
for
object.
no, it's like it's Tegan and Sara for today's artists.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
that's
when
true.
when
That's true.
today's artists were young, they had Tegan and
Hmm.
Sara, just like
That's
Tegan and
true.
Sara in the book have Night
That's
Fever.
true. Yeah.
So they're actually I think they're like, they're overlapping their story when they were starting their career to their story now, because they are
Hmm.
like, they represent today
Which is another part of dreams.
role
It's
models.
it's what they wished, what they dreamed of having. It's
Yeah,
like, a daydream, let's say.
totally.
Yes.
Um,
Oh, I was gonna say that. So DJ Cucumber is in high school, right? And Night Fever is like an adult but young still. How
Yeah.
old is Night Fever? Because I think it says
20s, I
um
suppose.
DJ Cucumber is 17, but Night
Hmm.
Fever, I'm not sure.
Maybe like
I
She's
think
20? I don't
20s.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's young, but like
Yeah.
But an adult.
between,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess between 20 and 25. I don't know.
What do you think about their mom being their manager? We know that their mom isn't their manager in real life, but right, like them putting that detail in there. I truly loved it because it felt like, because we know that they, especially Sarah, didn't have the best relationship with her mom, but it felt like a conciliation. Like they kind of like we're all good. Like we want our mom. So
Yeah.
what do you think about that?
Yeah, I liked that they did that. I mean, I know there are a lot of like momager stories, and some of them are good, and some of
Some
them
of
are
them are
bad,
bad.
like
Exactly.
real life ones. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I liked that they added that, although I don't think that would have been
The ideal
maybe the
situation.
ideal situation in real life
Hmm.
either.
That's true.
Um,
It just felt like
but
we are good with our mom right now.
yeah,
I don't know. Like when you read high school and then you read this, it's like you see the shift, like Sarah yelling at her mom and her mom yelling at her, and here basically. I was reading and I remember it because I was a fan of Selena Gomez for a long time, and her mother managed her. And it just gave me this whole, like, the story is very relatable to a lot of child or Disney stars. Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez, and I don't know, it's just like felt like reading like how they, struggle with fame at a very young age and life. So such a good book.
yeah, I love it. It's so funny.
Yes.
There's so many funny parts.
Mm-hmm.
Are we done talking about the book?
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm done. What about you two?
Oh my gosh, I love this. I love this part.
Okay, share.
On page 114. Kat and Tegan, Ramona set it up. Oh, right. Yeah. You'll see her after school, right? No, actually, Roshni has a game. Hmm. What? You're the one who's blushing. Come on, girls, get in the game. We're talking about philosophy.
But
That
then the
won't work a
teacher
second
says
time. Let's go.
that won't work a second time.
Yeah, they
I
tried
don't
that
know.
before.
I don't know why we're talking about philosophy. It's like so funny to me.
But it's such a high school response. Oh my God.
Like
I
The
it's
would never, I
times
so
would
my
never,
funny.
students said that.
I would never come up with something quick like that. I would
But
just be like,
students
oh,
say that.
sorry.
No. They actually say that. Like you're talking to, oh,
No,
we're
I
talking
mean,
about something very important. We're
I'm
talking about
talking about
politics.
me. I'm talking about me. Like, I don't know how to lie
Yeah.
like
Yeah, we're
that so
talking about
Oh yeah.
quickly.
astrophysics.
My
We're
students were like, we're
discussing.
talking about politics. We're talking about what happened. Like, I'm in the
Yeah.
Middle East, so like people are like talking about what's going on in Syria. So the other day I was like, can you please stop talking? And somebody was like, we're talking about what happened yesterday in Syria. I'm like, yeah, am I supposed to like,
Yeah,
listen to
regardless,
you?
Believe
like you
you?
still need to
Like,
stop talking. Like
well, it's not our topic right now. We're talking about basically a short story. We have a short story to cover. So
I don't
yeah.
know. I feel like every page I look to, there's like a funny part. Like when
I love the boots part when Tegan
oh
She likes
lifts
the
up her
boots.
yeah, it's like
oh
I'm
yeah.
2 inches taller, something like that.
Yeah, that was funny. Oh, when Sonia asks, how old is DJ Cat? Age is just a number.
Yeah.
She's 18, 17. She just turned 17. Like, I love
I
that.
like that Tegan keeps saying, but Ramona says, and I'm like, oh, stop saying that. But Ramona says, but Ramona says, but Ramona says.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. Oh, and the job. That's right
Yeah,
on the next
the job
page.
part.
It's too funny. Oh my gosh. Fine. Sure.
That was so funny.
Oh my gosh. It's just full of funny little things like that.
I think what makes it also funnier is the Tillie's illustrations.
Yeah, her illustrations are
She
so good.
captures
Sure.
them
There's so
very
much,
well.
there's so much packed on like every page.
Hmm
And
Like,
like this one, I just saw it. So like they're fighting and it's
mhm.
like all purple. And then as they progress, it turns into their like
Colors.
individual like
Yeah,
perception of what's happening.
yeah,
And then it goes back to purple. It's like interesting how you enter in the world and then you get out of the world and it's just pages. Like it's just like
yeah.
drawings on a paper, but it makes you
Hmm
feel like you're in a different world in
It's
like between
true.
pages.
Sucks
Yeah,
you inside, yeah.
the use of
Yeah.
the color is
Yeah,
so
exactly.
good. And like, I don't know if it's consistent everywhere, but in some of these parts where they're doing the music video, um, there's like where the yellow creeps in and
Yeah.
stuff. It's like
Yeah.
it's representing the music because like on this one, oh my
Like
gosh.
I think we talked about colors last time when we reviewed junior
yellow
high.
is actually Night Fever's color. Like every time Night Fever shows up, it's like all yellowish.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's something that they
Oh,
look at and it's like
bright,
Mhm.
light.
yeah, and aspirational to them.
Yeah.
True.
And then when they're like on the stage, there's those yellow streaks. Well,
Hmm
obviously those are lights, but
It's the dream. It's the dream of becoming a pop star, I think, or rock star. Like
and
yellow,
then
like
here
stars. Stars are
where they're
usually
when
like,
they're playing here, and it's right there with the music notes. I just love it. It's so cute.
mhm.
Cute little details like that.
I like that they write songs together too.
Yeah.
How about we talk about dreams and nightmares, since this is very relatable to their dream of becoming pop stars, which they have achieved, and it has to do with actual dreams that can be good or bad, which we call nightmares in real life. Um, do you have any experiences and insights with some dreams and nightmares you would like to share? Anything you want to say about that?
Do you want to tell your dream?
I have this morning.
Yeah, that you had this morning. You could. It's actually kind of similar to this performance dream in a way. Do you want to tell it?
It was when I was at a dance recital where I was performing a dance and I was putting my costume on and everybody else had their costumes on already and they were on the stage, and when I was done putting my costume on, the performance was over. And then I burst into tears and threw a chair.
You threw a
Oh,
chair in the
Yep.
dream. Yeah. So she
Oh,
missed her performance in the dream because she was getting ready and rushing to get ready. But by the time she was
that's
ready, everybody
definitely
was
an
done.
anxiety dream.
Yeah.
so in the dream she got upset and then threw a
Hmm.
chair to
Yes.
like
I would have never
express
done that in
her.
real life.
She would have never really thrown a chair in real life or missed your call time for your performance, of course. You would never miss.
Yeah, it would never.
It was just, yeah, I mean,
I've
it was
had
just a
other dreams
nightmare.
about Tegan and Sara.
Oh, you've had dreams about Tegan and Sara. Do you want to share
Yes,
Yeah,
one
share
of them?
those.
one of them was very cool,
Okay.
or one of them was very weird.
Tell us the dreams.
Tell us the dream.
Yeah, so I didn't have these recently. I had them like a few months ago, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember them?
It was it was when Tegan and Sara were playing at a record store, and we didn't get tickets. So me and Mom and Daddy took us in the car, and then he drove us there to listen to the music outside. And then the tour bus was right outside. So when they came out of the tour bus, I'm
Very
like, hi, and then they're like, hi, and I'm like, I'm Rosie, and then they're like, oh, cool. I never met you. Nice to meet you. And I'm like, don't you remember me, Tegan? And she's like, no. And then I woke up and I'm like, that was
oh
a dream. Oh no, Tegan forgot me.
Dream
I
Oh,
think
Tegan.
that's a
no.
lot
For
like
you.
my dream, the dream that I had last week, wasn't
I was
it?
gonna say that it was very Taylor Swift or Swifty of you to go and listen to them outside of the store. Because all
Yeah.
the Swifties were going to the venues.
Listening in
Debbie,
the
this is
parking lot.
exactly
Yeah.
like the dream that I had. The tour bus dream. Last week I told you
Really?
about it. Isn't it?
The record store, but
No, not record,
you
it's tour
didn't
bus.
mention a record store.
No,
Tour
tour
bus.
bus. Wait, I'm gonna read through it. I dreamed that we both were in Tegan and Sara's tour bus in 2004, just
Oh
chatting
yes, okay, I
casually with
remember
them.
now.
That's so specific.
Yeah, and Tegan was telling us about how the show we missed in the US because we could only attend two shows, Debbie and I in Europe. And I had my head on your lap, Debbie. I don't know why I was so sleepy. In the tour bus while we were facing them, Tegan and Sara on the opposite couch. And then I realized that what Tegan said, and I lifted my head up in panic to tell you that there is something wrong and I'm not supposed to meet them and I haven't met them. And someone
Oh,
is
you said
toying
that.
with our memories, yes, and timelines. And you shushed me because you were too busy listening to Tegan yapping. Of course, Sarah rarely existed in the dream because I always dream of only Tegan saying something. Sarah's just in the background. I don't know why.
Oh, dude, that was the
Yeah.
only. That was I had a dream though that Sarah did say.
Rosie
What-
had a Sarah dream.
Yep, and that one was a Tegan dream, but they both came out.
Oh, they
Okay.
I
were
usually
there.
have Sarah in the dream, but she doesn't say anything.
I
I had
have
a
like both usually. I
It's
sent Jess
so
my last two dreams
Mhm.
about Tegan and Sara. I already forgot them.
it's that dream. I woke up in that dream. I woke
I
up in my
need
mom's bed with my
a
hair's a
refresher.
mess. And so I wanted
Wait.
to straighten it, but then I just calmed it and it was nice. What? But I was in such a rush to tell you about how something is wrong in the Matrix and I'm not supposed to meet Tegan and Sarah that easily. My mom kept talking to me and I was so bothered because time felt running. Then I really woke up. So I woke up
Oh
twice.
yeah.
Oh, it was a dream in a dream.
Oh, I hate
Yeah.
that when I wake up in the dream that I'm not.
I
Like,
had
I'm
a
still in the dream.
but you probably won't want to hear about it because it's a kid dream.
Oh.
It's fine. I
Really
want to hear
about-
about it. It's fine.
It's really about my favorite TV show, so maybe not. You won't know anything about it.
Anyway,
dreams-
yeah.
My latest dreams, it's too long. I'm not gonna be able to like remember the whole thing, and I don't
Just
want
share
to read the whole thing.
concept.
Yeah, I'm trying to like remember because one of them was at a school, and then I saw Tegan and Sara, and then they saw me, and then I acted all cool and stuff.
Oh yeah, is this one of the dreams you told me about?
Yeah, and then I texted you, Jess, in the dream.
In the
I couldn't,
dream.
but that's the thing I was gonna say. I always have problems with technology in my dreams. Like
Mhm.
something incredible is happening and I'm trying to
Mm.
record it. I'm trying to take a picture of it. I'm
Trying to tell someone and you
tell
can't.
someone and I
Yeah,
can't. This always happens to me. And this
same.
happened in this dream.
Oh, God.
And then like Tegan and Sara were my bosses, like out of nowhere. Like I'm talking to them and then suddenly they're like, okay, now you're
Suddenly
work for
you're
me.
working for them.
And I was trying to like to act, like I said, I was trying to act cool. And then I told a story or something. And then one of the other people that worked for them were like, you can't say that in front of them. Then I was like, oh shit.
Hey, Debbie,
What?
apologize.
I'm
Never
sorry.
mind.
Your potty
For
mouth
what did I say?
You said
I'm
a bad
sorry.
word.
and
I,
a
s- I
curse.
I
You
didn't,
said
I
a
don't even know
swear.
what curse I said. I'm so
I
sorry.
know.
That's
You're
how
fine.
embedded it in my, I'm
It's
sorry, it
fine.
was not intentional.
Meanwhile, if Tegan and Sara swear at an event, Rosie doesn't care. She's
Because
like,
they're
it's
Tegan and
fine.
Sara.
It's
They have
it's
different rules.
it's part of their
It's Sara.
Personality.
exactly. And then the
What-
other dream was we found out about something that Tegan and Sara, like an event, and then we ran to be able to like get there on time, like literally ran like with our legs, like we ran there, and then we ended up in a closet, like a broom closet for whatever
That's
reason,
interesting.
and then we were trying to find something there, and then someone opened the door and they said, "You're not supposed to be here."
You're in the closet.
Oops.
And then I don't know, it was weird because then at the end, like everybody thought that I did something. So like people were catfished thinking that I
What?
did something,
Oh, this
but I
is your
didn't.
your fear. This is what I want to talk about, is
Yeah.
that your dreams
you
are
hold
a
it.
reflection of your
Oh,
emotions and your
yeah.
fears.
Didn't you not have a bag or pockets in
Yeah.
that dream too? And then you were like holding all your stuff.
Yeah, like the whole time I didn't have a bag, so I was holding everything in my
Yeah.
hands.
Yeah, you're juggling all of your anxiety. Oh my
Yeah.
God, Debbie, your dream is so easy to
It's so
infer.
loaded.
It
Yeah.
says here that someone opened the door and we left fast because we weren't supposed to be there. And then someone got text asking for some kind of information related to me. And apparently everyone in the place also got this text because everyone was looking at me like I've been exposed. And we looked at each other like, oh my God, did they get catfished?
Yeah, this reflects your fear in real life. See, dreams usually reflect our fears, things we worry about, you juggling your
And then
everything
at
that
the end, like
bags is.
randomly,
Yeah.
people wanted to take pictures of us for a magazine. And then I woke up. Like, what? Like I'm
God.
Tegan and Sara in my dream or something.
Yeah, well, they're Tegan
weird.
to me
Anyways,
in my
I
subconscious.
they're in my
you're
dreams
good.
all the time, and usually it's just comforting. Like
Yeah,
they're
they're always in my dreams, and you're always in the dream that they're all in my dreams. Like before that, like last year you weren't there, but now in every dream you're always there. I'm like, oh my God, it's her again. She's always in my dreams when Tegan and Sarah are there. Why can't I be alone with them?
Wow.
Just kidding. Don't say that.
Rosie has another dream that she wants to talk. Oh, you have two more
Yeah.
dreams. Okay.
One of them is a really bad nightmare that I had, and then one of them is a good dream, which is actually a weird dream because I don't really remember most of it.
Okay. Which do you want to start with?
What I don't really know about.
Okay, go ahead.
So I know segments of it where me and Sarah walked around the stage holding hands, and Tegan said hi. That was the only thing she said. I don't remember what Sarah said, but we walked around the stage together, and I'm like,
in a circle.
"What are we doing, Sarah?"
Was I there?
Yeah, but then Sarah just took me and like held my hands, and then
Sarah's her mom now.
she just
Yeah.
walked around the stage with me, and she was, yeah. So
Sarah just borrowed you. Dream Sarah was like, come on, Rosie, take my hand. Let's go.
I think we already jumped into the game of dream interpretation. Each shares a dream and we try to interpret it. I like that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Tell us the second dream, Rosie.
the other one.
Is that the
Yeah.
scary one?
Yeah.
If you
You
You had a
can, of
scary
course.
one?
About people. It's not super scary. It's too scary to me. It's kind of scary to me.
Okay.
There were space rangers walking around, which are like people that explore the galaxy,
Mm-hmm.
like a
Oh,
big ship.
yeah.
Then they landed on Earth, and then they're like, "Where should we go to the place it all started?" And I'm like, "I don't know what all started means." I wasn't in the dream. It was like a movie. It was like a horror movie.
Oh, it's
It's
like you're
like you were
watching
So
what's
so
going
it's
watching it.
on.
something you
Mm.
were watching that was scary.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so it was about this little place that was like a kid-friendly place where kids could come, and it was like a restaurant and it had plaid walls,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like super cool, or checkered walls and all plaid.
Okay.
And then all the kids were there, and the Babysitters Club was there. They were watching the kids, and they were from the live action series on Netflix, since I was really into that then.
Oh
And
my
they were
God.
there, and at the host office, somebody came in with their kid, and then the host was actually a zombie.
Oh
And then
no.
the zombie took off his head and put it on the menu to give to the customer.
Ugh.
And then
Honestly, that's disturbing.
all the kids here, here's a zombie. And then I woke up.
Rosie, had you
That's
been
scary.
watching something scary before sleep that day, that night?
So,
She doesn't really watch scary stuff.
Reading maybe something?
so it was like just made
Annoying,
up.
right?
It was, we don't know where it came
Scary.
from, except the Babysitters Club references. We know where those,
Oh,
Yeah, because
And
the
I did
whole
not
zombie
get
thing is
yeah.
scary.
weird.
It's weird.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I used to have like a recurring dream. It was from a Disney movie, I think. You know the Arthur and the sword.
Sword in the
Sword.
Stone.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, is that the name of the
Mhm.
animation?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And there's a witch. Do you know the witch in that animation?
I
She has
forgot.
like spiky hair, and she's like,
Mhm.
so I would have a dream about
Think so.
her, but she would be scary to me. But like in the movie, she's like funny. She's not scary. But I would
Yeah.
have this dream all the time, and I would wake up like scared,
Ugh.
like I couldn't fall back asleep because like she was in my dream, and it was just like the image of her like with the hair, like spiky hair, and like
Yeah.
scary, so weird. And I don't know why I remember this so vividly, like the dream itself. I would have the dream
Yeah,
constantly.
because you had it so many times, probably.
Yeah, I did not like that dream at all.
It's, I think psychologically, like when you were watching that like the thing you were watching, something was going on in your life during that time.
Yeah,
So in your brain is connected. That's why you remember it vividly. I
probably.
keep having the same dream. I still have the same dream always of running over the roofs of houses with my parents trying to find shelter from bombardments.
Oh,
I have this literally almost every now and then. And it's always like a war and I don't want to die and we're running out.
yeah.
Or I'm lost in my grandma's house. It's
Oh,
very it used to like the house that she had in Iraq was very, very huge and I would be lost. I would get lost in there. So I'm
I've
like
had
running
a
around the
dream.
garden.
I've had a dream a few times where I was lost in my
Lost.
grandma's house. Like I would
Yeah.
go upstairs and then
Oh
I would
wow.
be
And I tried
upstairs
to find people and I hear their
and then I'm
voices,
like,
but
wait, this is
they're
a
not
different
there.
floor. Where am I?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Or in
I
school,
always
usually. Yeah.
I
Oh
always
yeah.
have dreams that I'm trying to escape.
Yeah, exactly. Escape something.
Like
War,
it's always like either going
maze.
down the stairs, like endless stairs,
Uh-huh,
or going
uh-huh.
up
Same.
endless
Mhm.
stairs to try to escape. Or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
sometimes it's a forest, and I'm like, and it's funny because in these dreams, I'm always like so like sporty and active, like I know how to run. I know how
Exactly.
to
You're
Temple
jump.
Run.
running.
It's usually
I
Temple
can
Run.
I can go anywhere. I can
And I
jump
jump
anywhere,
from
like
exactly.
very
You're
high. I can
jumping
like
on houses.
Literally this. Over the roofs of
or
houses,
like
I tell you.
it's the end of the world, and like the town is like
Exactly.
it's like the streets
It's
are
falling apart. Like, the
yeah
Buffy episode we watched at the end and we're just running.
yeah. I dream about that all the time, and
So it's normal. So it's not just me. Okay.
before I learned how to drive, I would always escape by driving, like endlessly. But after I learned how to drive, I never had that dream anymore. Now that I know how to drive.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Drive-in dreams are really scary for me because I'm always either lost on the road, either the car's too fast, I can't reach the
Mhm.
pedals, like
Oh shit.
yeah, or
Sorry.
the car is driving itself because I suck at driving, that's why.
My dad was a bus driver for many years, and he still occasionally has bus driving dreams that are
Oh
like
my
anxiety
gosh.
dreams.
Yeah.
Like the bus is going and he can't stop it.
Yeah.
Or he's had them where he's driving and people on the bus are freaking out, and he's like, it's okay, it's my dream. This is a dream. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
But nobody's
Yeah.
gonna
No one's gonna remember because this is a dream. And
Yeah.
so he's
Dream.
aware it's a dream. I don't know. Very odd. What did
Have you
say?
ever had that dream when you tell yourself or you tell the people around you, this is a dream,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
I
believe
had
you,
a dream
wake up.
because Mama said that in her dream. I had a dream that there was a dragon flying around, and I'm like, it's okay, it's my dream. And I'm like, oh wait, no, this is dreams. And you told me about your dream that was like, no, it's okay, it's a dream. And that made me dream that I was in a dream that was
Yeah.
like, no, it's okay, it's
Yeah.
a dream.
I
It's like,
have
wake
had
up, wake
so
up,
many
it's a dream.
dreams over
Sometimes
the
I know it's a
years.
dream. Sometimes I
Like
know
It's a
it's a
lucid
dream.
I was a
dream.
kid
That's a
that I was
lucid
like,
dream.
oh, don't
Yeah.
worry, this is a dream. I know
Yeah.
it's a dream. I
Yeah.
remember having a dream when I was younger where I was like on a boat or something, and then things were falling off of the boat, like a big ferry boat. And then people were like freaking out. And I was like, you guys, this is just my dream. It's okay. You're in my dream.
Yeah.
Or other situations where I'd be like at a school thing with friends, and the friends are all freaking out because there's something horrible happening. And then in the dream, I'm like, don't worry, this is my dream. You're in my dream. It's okay. This
Mhm.
isn't really happening.
What I sometimes like what it not that I dream it a lot, but usually when I'm high up somewhere and I'm about to fall or something, I'm
Yeah,
like
you wake up.
no, I'm like I know it's a dream because I know that in real life I wouldn't put myself in that situation. So I'm
Right.
like this can be true. I wouldn't be
Right.
here.
Or a
So I'm
tiger
like this
chasing me. I don't know why I dream of
this is a
tigers
dream.
chasing me.
Like why is there a tiger in my
Exactly.
house? There wouldn't be a tiger in my house, so this must be a dream.
Sometimes
Okay.
I dream like I'm fighting with God. Like there's God, and I'm like, no, you're not supposed to do that. I'm like, I'm sorry, I did that. You're going to hell.
Yeah.
You're going to heaven. I have this dream occasionally.
Yeah. We're talking about dreams that we dream at night, but we haven't talked about our dreams in life. Do you guys have?
Can I just say that
wait,
one
let's
last
just
dream
Rosie
that I
wants
had
to
We
say
this
have
something.
one more dream.
Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
yeah. Rosie and then me.
Okay, what?
Okay, it was a dream that I had twice when I was younger. I was like 4 or 5 or something, but I still remember it because it was like a dream I had twice or 3 times.
Okay.
And it was where our dog Lenny,
Mm-hmm.
people kept bringing in Lennies, and then it ended with 3 Lennies in the room.
So we had multiples of our dog in
Whoa.
that dream.
Yep. And I'm like, which is the real you, Lenny? I can't
Oh
figure it
no.
out. And then Dad is like freaking out, like, I need to take Lenny to the potty, but I don't know which one needs to go potty.
That's weird.
I've had dreams like that about dogs though, where all of a sudden then I have like 3 or 4 of my dog.
Of the same dog.
Oh,
Yeah, the same dog. Happened to me when I was a kid.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Or is it like, does it make you feel anxious or is it like nice?
There's been times where it was like, oh, this is normal. Like in the dream, it felt normal. And then there was other times where it was like, what's going on? Which one's the real dog?
Oh,
Where did all
trying to
these
figure
dogs
it
come
out.
from?
and I had that dream.
I had a weird dream.
Reason.
Not last night, this morning when I went back to sleep because Sarah had posted Sid on the floor. I don't know, like what he's watching,
That
gymnastics or
picture was
something.
so funny.
Funny, I know.
So
And then
funny.
And here's the thing, I'm not sure if I can share this, but like I dreamed that I was babysitting Sid and I was like talking to him and I was like, "Where is your mom?" And he's like, "She's sleeping." And I didn't say mom, I said mama and I was like, "No, I mean your mom, not your mama." She's like, "Ah, she's sleeping too. They're both sleeping." And I was like, "What the hell? Why are they like? Why is he left with me?" And he's like, and he kept talking and talking. It was so annoying. I was like, "Hey, Sid, how about I play some cartoons?" And and he was like,
Wow.
"Okay, play
What?
cartoons." And I played
Oh
cartoons, and
no.
they were in Arabic, and both of us didn't understand the thing. I was like, "It's time we learned Arabic." kid. And he started to jump and sing and I was like,
Oh,
can
Wow.
those people wake up? I tried to wake them up and they were like, leave us alone. We're trying to sleep.
Go.
Babysit that kid.
Wow.
I know, that was weird.
That's so specific.
I don't even remember how Sid looked like. I just know his hair was curly and he was Sid. And he
Oh
was
my
wearing what he
gosh.
was wearing.
Yeah,
Like
that
without
photo
a
she
face.
posted was so funny.
I know.
Those kids must have been like stretching for a class or a sport or
And
something.
he's just watching and doing the same.
What else? Oh,
uh,
I could share my weird dream that I had um like a month ago. Rosie and I were in this hallway and it was all white and there was art on the walls and it was probably about the width of like a big airplane, like the inside and it felt kind of rounded.
like an
And
arch.
it was like slightly arched, like the walls, like the inside of the airplane.
Hmm.
Um, and there were like a few people here and there sitting in the area, and there were white walls, and I think I said that. And then we're just talking, and then all of a sudden Tegan walks up, and she's like, "Hey guys," and then she says something like very profound about spending time with people that you care about or whatever, and then she got like emotional, like she got like choked
Tegan
up.
Pig.
Yes, this
It's
is
funny that Tegan is always in her own personality, like her same personality in dreams.
Yeah.
I know.
I
And
always dream
then
of Tegan like that.
yeah, and then she was like this. She was like, patted your shoulder or something, and then like she gave us hugs, and then that was it. That was the dream. But prior to that dream, we had gone to the Vancouver um book tour date and we had talked to Tegan for a little bit after the event for just like a few minutes, and we were up in Vancouver for the event, and it was the weekend before my birthday, and so we were like, oh, what are we gonna do while we're in Vancouver? And I asked Tegan what would she recommend, and she recommended going to this place called Science World. So that happened, in October, beginning of October. Then like a month later, I have this dream. Then a couple weeks ago, Rosie and I were back in Vancouver, and we went to Science World, and we walked into the entry of Science World, and it was just like my dream.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Oh,
There
that's
was gallons of
creepy.
pictures on the walls, and
Yes.
it was white, and it was a little curved.
And the feeling and the vibe of the space felt just like my dream. And I don't think I could ever
Have you Googled
make
science word before? Maybe you had Googled
no,
it and oh my
no. I
God, that's
only
so
I only
creepy.
knew what it looked like from the outside, and it is a circular building. It's really cool. Um, but it was so bizarre, and I'm sure no one will believe me except Debbie will believe me because I
Trust me,
told her
I will believe you because I have
okay,
the weirdest
good.
dreams. Come on, I
Um,
predict things in my dreams.
I
yes,
don't have any of
Debbie
that
knows
stuff.
that.
Rosie can
I'm
verify the
boring.
order of these events, and I did
Yeah.
text this to Debbie before I went to
You told
Science
me
World. I
the
told
dream,
you
not
about the
in,
dream.
yeah, not in so much detail, but you told me
Yeah.
about talking to Tegan and like Tegan getting emotional and stuff.
Hmm.
And I think you did say that it was like a corridor kind of place.
Yeah, that was like a hallway.
Yeah,
Yeah. Anyway,
that's
it was
creepy.
wild.
Yeah.
It was a weird it's not a coincidence. I'm psychic.
You're psychic. I totally believe that because Debbie knows the things I predicted that have come true. And last year I've dreamed of something that kept on happening every time. And it's in a different situation. I keep telling them something's gonna happen, and then
And then it happened.
it did happen. I was like, oh my God, not again.
Um, okay, now we have to talk about our dreams in life. Like, what do we want for
Yeah.
ourselves, or like, I guess, I don't know, anything that is in this world, not in the dream world. That is,
I think we should just mention what we want, not what we don't want, because part of dreaming is daydreaming or manifestation. Manifestation is saying what you don't want, and then it might
will
come true.
manifest
And
it. Yeah,
yeah, so let's try to be positive and say what we want in our lives. Who would like to begin? Me?
sure.
I'll go
Sure.
first.
Go
Sure.
for it.
Well, I truly just want to be happy. I want to be
You know what?
safe.
You know what? I think that we should talk about dreams that we had that were accomplished, because I think that
All right.
sometimes we forget that, because like when I feel sad or upset, like sometimes I have like counter blessings, like
Exactly.
sometimes I
I
feel like,
did mention that at the beginning when I said, am I like I feel like I'm my own hero right now, but what if it's just a
yeah,
dream?
yeah.
Um, I'm very, very satisfied with where I'm at right now. Sure, I would like to be in a better place, but
But that's always, we should always want
yeah,
better.
but looking
Hmm.
back, exactly 10 years ago at this time, I was so miserable and I was so
Hmm.
sad. Exactly, like it's December, and I know the reason why, of course, but I never would have never imagined I'd be in this place. I never would have imagined I'd be teaching in the university or in a school that pays me well or be surrounded by people that I love who love me. Yes, I'm still single, and that's something that bothers me a lot because it feels like something's wrong with me. But I'm just like trusting the process right now. I'm not that worried anymore because I used to be very anxious about that.
Hmm.
At the same time, I'm very happy that I'm safe, that I'm in peace. Like I wish like being safe is very important to me, to feel safe. People
Hmm.
around me make me feel safe. The situation, the political situation. I came from a place that basically wasn't very safe and suffered with that. So I just want to feel safe and
And it's something that you
healthy.
didn't feel before, and now you do. It didn't used to be, you didn't
Exactly. And
used to
not only
feel
save
safe.
in political sense, but even money wise. Like I can
Yeah.
Like
spend the way
secure.
that I don't secure. Exactly. Thank you. I don't have to worry much. Yes, there are some things I truly worry about, but this is life. But 5 years ago, 5 years from now, exactly at this time, when COVID was about to hit and I was about to be let go from work because of who I am, like my nationality, because I didn't have a work permit and the school that I was in didn't want to give me that. It was the worst time because I had just started grad school. I didn't have enough money. My salary was really terrible. And I never, never thought I could get out of that place. It was the worst place of my life. And I was so miserable and I was so sad and I hated my job. Even though I was a teacher still, I loved my students. But I don't know,
You
things
weren't,
just shifted and changed.
yeah, you wanted something better, and now you have that. So like
Exactly.
dreams came true.
And I still want to. I still want to travel. I want to have my own place. I want to like
Yeah.
be better at my career. I want to rest. I want to delve into my creative side more. And this is basically that these are my, let's say, this is what I want to do in 2025 to focus more on the creativeness of what
Hmm.
I do, less on the academic and trying to just, hustle until like I'm dead because I feel like I'm dead weight right now. And
Yeah, no, we should focus on things that makes us excited.
exactly, yeah. So I'm more excited to like navigate the creative side
Hmm.
that I have. What about you?
Nice. Me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, 10 years ago, I wasn't even in the same country that I am now. And we're in almost 2025, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 10 years ago, I was very lost, um, trying to find a path for myself because I thought I had a path, and then it didn't work out. I did a master's and I tried to pursue that field, but that didn't work out, and that was like a huge thing
Mm-hmm.
that really upset me. So I couldn't see where I would be in the future at the time. And then I would never think that I would be here. Like at the time, a few years afterwards, I am exactly where I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I moved here, I was like, I want to get to Canada. I want to find a job, and I want to like be independent and do the things I want to do, the things I like, and that it's happening now. Sometimes it's really hard just because like life is, I'm still trying to like find excitement in life, because since I'm living the dream, I've kind of plateaued. So I don't really have anything exciting in the future for me. So I think that's what's for me right now is what I'm seeking, like something for me to be excited about. And I think that this podcast is one of them that is like it's really exciting for me that I can, express myself and be creative. And I hope that next year this is going to grow, not just like for more people to see it or anything, grow for ourselves, for
For
me and for
ourselves. And we
Mary and
talked
for
about that in
whoever.
the last
Yeah.
episode. Yeah.
So I think that's what like my dream now is to be excited about life because I'm tired of like, just seeing the bad stuff and like bad luck and things like that. I want to I want to be more positive. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
like the future for me, like what I dream is like I don't have a dream like, oh, I want this for myself. I just like you said, I just want to be happy. And because I achieved what my dream was, like my new dream is to be happy where I'm now, since
Yeah,
this was what I
satisfied
always
maybe.
wanted. Yeah.
I mean, happiness is very subjective, but it's also very
Yeah.
like it's temporary. So you can like it's not an everlasting feeling. So satisfaction is, I think, what we're looking for.
Yeah, for sure. I just want to not feel bad anymore or sad or, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Sorry, sorry for being so deep, but
No, it's fine.
dreams are deep,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a
Hold
deep
on one
topic.
second. Okay.
Go ahead.
Rosie's gonna leave soon. But before she goes, she wants to tell you about her dreams for the future.
Yes, I want to hear that.
I
Tell
want to be
us.
a musician when I'm older and wear cool outfits when I'm on stage. Like Taylor
Nice.
Swift, and I like to write songs, and I think that's all cool stuff.
I think that's
Yeah.
so cool.
So you have a lot of creative dreams
Yes.
for your future.
Yes.
You're an artist too.
Yes. I'm
Yeah.
already writing my own book about right now and what is happening.
She is. She's writing her own little memoir,
Cool.
Oh,
Called a memoir, Mom.
a memoir.
memoir, yes.
Maybe you also can draw your own book because you like drawing so much.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. I'm
Exactly.
writing down the
She's
script
doing the illustrations as well.
Oh, nice.
That's
and
Amazing.
nice.
the illustrations.
Is there anything else that you wanted to tell them before you go?
Bye.
Just bye. Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Bye,
you so much
Rosie.
for coming, Rosie.
It was so fun having you here.
So should I say you guys talked about like 10 years ago? Should I say what was happening 10 years ago
Yeah, like
for me?
your dreams 10 years ago. Are you where you wanted to be 10 years ago? Like
10 years
reflect
ago,
on.
I don't think I was there yet, but I was almost in Palm Springs because we went to Palm Springs for Christmas. And I was pregnant.
I was gonna ask, 10 years
Yeah.
ago you were pregnant with Rosie. Yeah.
Mhm. Which was a dream, of course. And
See, like
that wasn't
totally.
like that wasn't like a quick thing that happened either, because it's not like I wanted to get pregnant and then like got pregnant, like it happened right away. It took a while, like, and then I had a lot of underlying health stuff I didn't know about. So I mean, that was probably the biggest dream, really, in the sense of like how much stress and work and money and planning and whatever takes. But I was still working as a nanny back then. I was doing hair back then. I was always doing like 3 or 4 jobs, like here and there. But I've always kind of done that, and I've never had just one primary job for too long. I could never like
Just do one thing.
I don't know. Yeah. And I think for a long time, this is kind of sad sounding, but it's not. It's just coming to a realization about being realistic about who I am,
Yeah.
But I think for a long time, I thought that that was kind of a failure. Like, what's wrong with you that you can't just have like a career, like just this one thing,
Yeah.
But I just like I never could do that. So, but now things are a lot different. I feel very this is gonna go down again, but I'm gonna bring it back up into a positive spin at the
Okay.
end. So don't worry.
Yeah.
Things are very different now in good ways, but also I feel very unfulfilled as far as like creativity or any sort of professional career work um, aspirations I've had over the years and or things I've tried and that didn't work out. And then I just have had to do so much just letting go of what I dreamed or my ideas. Like,
Hmm.
because I get a lot of creative ideas and then I want to do them and then I do them
Mhm.
for a bit and then it like doesn't work or like I don't make
Same. Yeah.
money doing it. Um, and the time I spend doing it is not worth it. The time away from my family, the time,
Hmm.
um, the payoff isn't worth it. So it's hard, but um, I really want to write a book, and
Mhm.
I have too many ideas on that too, but I have a couple concepts, so to be determined. But that's one of my main things that is like percolating.
Cool.
And even just it's not like, oh, I want to write a book so I can like make money and that's going to be my job. It's really just more about the creative part of it, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so that's been fun to think about and plan and brainstorm and daydream about. And yeah, I don't know. I guess that's like the main thing that's on my mind. My life has changed so much. I've
I
mentioned this
know.
before. I think I've mentioned this before on the podcast before. But like my mom died last year and that was a big shift and I'm like in my 40s now, so like all these things are just such big shifts.
This is something
Absolutely.
else I was gonna say. Like, I was talking about society and how society, in certain way, that if you don't follow the script, you're failing.
Exactly. Yeah.
But that's so not it. Like, there's no rules. That's the thing. Like, sometimes I have to remember that, like, because people don't have a career or whatever, like they do three jobs or they don't do jobs at all, but they, you know, go by or whatever. That's is not There's not a correct or normal way to do things. You just have to do what, like, feels good to you, as long as
Mhm.
you're, like, you're able to, be healthy and, like, have a roof over your head, and you have
Yeah.
support, like you have support system, or family or friends or people who, like, surrounded by people who lift you up,
Mhm.
those are the things that we should be looking, at least for me, those are the things that you should be looking for. And every day you can't predict what's going to happen. And then when something bad happens and you can do anything about it, all you can do is, like, keep going and
Mhm.
finding, like, things that will inspire you to keep going, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
And that's what
for
I'm
sure.
trying to do now, because every day I wake up and then I'm like, I'm so bored. So I've been trying to be excited about life and trying to find new things to be excited about, because it's been difficult. And it's not just about job and paying bills. It's
Mhm.
about doing things that are joyful,
Yeah.
like this podcast.
Yep.
Final thoughts
Um,
about
I just hope in 10 years I have my own kid. There, I said it.
Yeah.
you
That's
can.
my dream.
Say it. Put it
I
out there.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
There's plenty of time, plenty of ways, and
definitely.
highly recommend it. I'd like to have another one, but who knows? We'll see. I don't know. Then other days I'm like, ugh, no.
Yeah,
That's the thing,
I
you never
mean,
know too. Like, you can change your mind as well,
that's true.
Mhm.
That's true.
about
So
anything at
true.
any time.
Whatever happens, happens, which is making me feel so much better and more
Yeah.
relaxed. Yes, I would like to have a kid, but if it happens, that means it's gonna happen in the right time. If it doesn't happen, maybe I
Yeah.
really never wanted to do that. And maybe I will
Yeah.
change my mind.
And then also, like, you can always work for something to
towards
happen,
something, of course, yeah.
towards something. But if that doesn't happen, that's okay. Because
It's
other
fine.
things, other good things are gonna happen, you know,
That's
along the
true. That's
way.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we never
Like you
know what
said,
could happen. Like things are changing very quickly right now in the world. So
I
it's
know
like
it's
constantly
yeah,
pivoting. You have to constantly pivot.
that's
Like,
true. Pivot.
pivot.
Proper. Tegan and Sara also talk about dreams in some of their songs, and I guess the one that I wanted to talk about was "Burn Your Life Down" because it's a dream that Sara wrote about. As I recall, I was trying to find like, you know, some songs that they navigate dreams in, but "Burn Your Life Down," I remember that Sara mentioned it was a dream that she wrote about. I Was Married felt like a dream too. I added Wake Up Exhausted. Sometimes I see stars as potential, like nightmares,
well,
things.
a song that is about a dream is Smoking With Alone.
Oh yeah.
It's about a
What?
dream. Smoking
Yeah,
With
it's
Alone.
literally
Oh
about
yeah,
a
Smoking
dream.
Weed Alone. It's about a dream. Yeah,
It's
that's
about a
true.
dream.
Mhm.
And there's another one from Hey, I'm Just Like You that I can't remember which one, but it's whichever Sara says something coming out of her eyes.
I tried to guess
Blood
that, and I went
runs-
over the
blood
titles, and I
runs
just
out my
couldn't.
eyes.
I feel like Hey, I'm Just Like You is about a dream itself. I don't
Blood
know.
runs from my eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
If I fall, will you catch me
Catch
in
me
your
in your arms.
Yeah.
Don't believe the things they tell you they
Tell you
lie.
they lie.
Oh, we already talked
No.
about this song in the
Yeah.
podcast, actually. So I guess that song's about a. Well, it's not
I
about
don't
a
think
dream,
that's a
but
song.
There's
I
a-
don't think
there's
that's
a
a song.
reference.
she
There's
mentions
a
a dream.
lyrical reference to a dream
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
or dream.
That also reminds me of Billie Eilish's song, I Had a Dream. That something like that. Because Tegan and Sara did mention that once.
No, she.
Maybe it was just a nightmare.
No, there was some. I think Billie Eilish has a song about something coming out of her eyes as well,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
Sarah was like, "I
that's
did that
true.
first, or something."
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
It's
that's
an
true.
interview. That's why I remember. That's why I remember the
Yeah.
song because she talks about it, and they don't like talking about dreams. Tegan and Sara, they hate talking about dreams, or Sara doesn't like.
So it's I had a dream. I got everything I wanted, not what you'd think. And if I'm being honest, it might have been a nightmare to
Is that
anyone
Billie
who might
Eilish?
hear. Yeah.
The song is not. Don't believe the things. Don't believe the things they tell you. They lie. The song was "Hold My Breath Until I Die."
Yeah. Yeah, you just didn't let me finish singing it.
Oh, sorry.
I would have
Hold my
gotten there.
breath until I die. Oh yeah.
Be alright.
But late at night, when your words are eating me alive, does it make you sad to leave me here like that? In my dreams, the blood runs from my eyes. If I fall, will you catch me in your arms? Catch me in your arms.
Ooh, there's a part in Crush about the falling and catching and
Yeah, with Noah.
Noah, yeah. I like that. We connected it back to Crush.
Yeah.
Yay.
Ladies and gentlemen and ladies.
Yeah, they talk. I guess they don't have many songs about dreams. The ones we know for sure, it's "Hold My Breath Until I Die," "Smoking It Alone," and "Burn Your Life Down."
That's true.
Those three are about dreams, and then the other ones, I guess, reference dreams because
Sure.
they talk about.
Sometimes I see stars
Late
feels
at
like
night.
an anxiety dream.
Yes.
It's about an anxiety dream.
That's what I was gonna say. They talk about like waking up or falling asleep,
Yeah.
but not the dream itself. Like wake up exhausted, and sometimes I see stars.
It's true.
Yeah.
Um.
Okay, I think the stuff that I wanted to talk about, Tegan and Sara, I can talk about it in the next episode.
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
to pick this
please.
episode because
Yeah.
we're always talking about them. Okay, thank you guys for listening. This is the end of the episode because it's been really long, like over 3 hours, I think. And
Yeah.
Oops.
and if you're listening, please subscribe wherever you're listening to, Spotify or a podcast or YouTube. Like, subscribe, send us a message, rate 5 stars, leave a comment, all of the things. And you can find us Wanna Talk TNS Pod on Instagram, and there's a link tree with all of our other links. And I hope you liked. I'll see you next time.
Hopefully.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Can you see me, guys? Oh yeah, you
What do
can
you
see
mean?
me, duh. I can't see me, that's why.
Look.
Oh, check this out.
Cool. Can you send me the drawing
Yeah,
or
this is so
picture?
nice.
What is the cover for the
I love it.
Yeah, I'll text you a picture.
I like having my drawings on covers on your podcast.
Yes.
Yes, please. Do you want me to share the screen right now or later
It's up
after
to
I'm done with the
you.
intro?
You're in control.
Okay, I'm gonna
Under
share
your
this.
control.
Pun is intended. Well,
Pun is intended, yes. Do you want to say anything beforehand so people who are listening understand that there's going to be an intro before the intro?
Oh.
you want to begin and say
No, I don't
something
care.
and
I'm
I
just
begin?
asking.
You guys are ridiculous.
I know. Okay, let's go.
So the topic is dreams, but let's just have an overview of Crush, basically. Tegan, would you like to give an overall summary, or do you want me to do that?
You just called Debbie Tegan. Oh my
I
gosh.
did. I did.
Wow. Wow.
You said that as I was drinking.
It was
I
so
almost-
natural.
Notice without you spilling your drink, I wouldn't have noticed.
Tegan is not here, so it has to be you.
Oh, darn.
Maybe you could keep that podcast for comedy.